hunting videos. I like it. 되는데 지금 뭐 인터뷰를 하는 게 하나 있어가지고 그래서 한 15분, 20분 뒤에 끝나는데 Korean style is Han Ji-hoon, and I was born in east side of Korea, and I grown up in Seoul since 4 years old. Yeah, so I'm Seoulian. So now I have some many occupation. First, now I'm business in the cafe. I have the cafe, and second is musician. I studied classic guitar, and when I was in university, I studied in, my instrument, and in Germany also I studied in also classic guitar, and then after I went in seminary, so now I'm pastor too. I'm Methodist pastor. I found the Kopali about 7 years ago, and then the times I wanted some space for my activity. So that is and to meet other foreign students for my mission. I have the same experience as foreign student in Germany, so I know what they want. They want to make relations with the with the native speakers. So but I didn't because I had no chance to meet German people because it's very difficult. I don't know. So now I think if now so many foreign students come to Korea, they had also same problem. Yeah. So that is my reason. I want to prepare for the foreign student and for my activity. So I made this cafe. So if I can, I want to give them too many chance to make with relationships to Koreans. Yeah, that's my why. This is very difficult because business is difficult, sales is very difficult. But I have two purposes, business and also mission. Yeah, very very difficult. If I focus on the mission, I worry about survival. If I would focus on survival, I worry about mission. It's very difficult. So, my definition of mission is very simple. You know, very simple. It's only two. That is eating and drinking. With eating and together. For this, I need money. Very simple. My parents are born in colony of Japan in the age. Yeah, so that times Koreans has so many suffer. Very very Japanese don't want to give to opportunity to Korea. So for example, my grandma want to learn the Korean, but all woman is that not prohibited, but no chance. Yeah. So my parent generation want desire for education. They have desire for education. So and then after World War, Japan destroyed and they get back to the Japan, and we have the fighting North and South Korea, the Korean War, because it is a communist and democracy. The conflict. Yeah, so at that time so many people died, so many soldiers died. So my parents' generation has many suffer. You know, in Japan and the war. Uh, uh, after war, they work hard, very, very hard, and then uh, I was born in 60s, and then my father every time if I was young, I have no rice, no money. We had the war, so I heard about it. So uh, during the growing, yeah, I heard all the time from my father about war and the very difficult life. Yeah. So my generation is started with Korean development. So every year develop. Every year change. Seoul changed, the countryside also changed. Now we are quick developed. So now I'm thankful my parents because they covered from the poor or the anyway they give to me the chance of education. Yeah, I was born in 60s, 66. So that time Korea was not developed. When I was young, we have so many poor people and also many rich people. At times we developed very quickly. Every year developed very quickly. So when I was young, my generation is baby boomer generation. So in class we have about more 70 students in one class. We get to study, but at times Seoul is very busy and not settled down. It is, so now my son generations, MG generation, all parents take care, even they're grown, they're adult. Yeah, yeah. They want to. There's no. Is this right? What I don't. The wild. Wild. 야생성. If I have no money or no building, my generation want to make the building or get money, but new generation don't want money because all wealth belong to the parent generation. So my generation have to find a way.
My name is Stephanie Lee. I was born in 2002 and I am from South Korea, but I moved to Canada when I was 11 and grew up since then. Yeah. I grew up in Kitchener, Ontario, which is, yeah, it's like a southern Ontario. And I go to school in Toronto. So, yeah. So I'm currently a fourth year University of Toronto student and studying book and media studies and sociology. Yeah. My ambition is to actually work in K-pop labels, but I don't think that's gonna work. But yeah, that's like my goal dream. But since I kind of understand both like Western culture and Korean culture, maybe something has to deal with like foreign marketing or like the foreign stuff, I guess, like, you know, yeah. So I think it really changed a lot from like the 40s when my grandparents grew up from now. So like my grandparents grew up in like was born in 40s, right? So they went through Korean War, and like then to my parents' generation, in like 70s and 80s kids, they grew up in like they were like dealing with like dictatorship. I think like the president was like, yeah, dictator, and they kind of had like an economic growth back then. I think that's like the peak era when Korea was like kind of growing economically. Um, and now I'm like, I was born where like what's it called, like democracy was like a thing, I guess, and like the labor rights and everything. So I think my grandma, like my grandparents and my parents and my generation is like a lot of like has like a lot of like differences and like went through different changes. So both of my parents are from Seoul, South Korea, and grew up there. And my grandparents, it's a little bit complicated from there. So my mom's side, so my grandfather grew up in Chungcheong area. I don't know if you know that. It's like a middle of South Korea. And then my mom's side grew up. My mom's side grandma were born in Seoul and she lived there for the entire life. And then my dad's side's grandfather was born in like the area like in North Korea area before the war, and then he like moved to Seoul during the war, I think. Yeah. And then my grandma was born in Seoul and lived there as well. Because I remember like my mom telling me that like she used to like go to like her like aunts who lives in like countryside and just like live there for like a month during the summer. And like they're really close, so like they would just like move in whenever they want to. It's just like it's like a really tight knit like type of thing. But, like I don't think I have any that kind of like experience. Like it's more of like a distanced, like we're close, but it's just not like that type of like. It was like when like it was like really recent. I think my uncle came over to my grandma's house, and then we were just having a conversation. But like my uncle like works at like this like corporation or whatever, and then my grandma couldn't understand like couldn't like grasp the idea of like working in like companies, I think, because she just grew up like doing like manual labor and stuff, right, back in like 60s and 70s. So like my uncle was describing like how he has like a meeting with this other company like directors or whatever, and then she just didn't understand like what's happening. Like she just did not have the concept of like how like what happens in the like work and like corporate life. So I guess like they were having conversation, but like both could not like understand each other in a sense. So that was interesting. Me and my grandma, like I was just talking about like how I need to graduate university and like probably do like 3 internships before I actually go into like full-time work, right? Because that's how it works nowadays. But she just didn't understand how you can't get a job after you graduate university. Yeah, so that was interesting. So that kind of like differences in like what she went through, like what my grandparents went through in their life, and like how we have to manage our life is like really different. So I think there's that like clash between that expectations. Yeah. Noticed my grandpa watching like right-wing YouTuber on his YouTube on his laptop when I went there. So yeah, I feel like and then like if you watch that, it's gonna like recommend more of that, right? So it's just gonna like ruin his like train of thoughts, and just yeah, I think especially like he just does not know how to like use technology wisely. Like so I feel like the effect of technology is definitely there. Like just making people like divided on certain ideas or opinions. As I like when I grew up, so like I had to go through like back when I was living in Korea, like I had to like go like a bunch of like hagwons, like like I had like English, like piano, math, ballet, like at least like 5 or more, and I was like only like grade 3 or like 4, right? So like I don't think my parents had to like go through like all of that, like educational, like that's the stress that I had back in elementary school. And so I think it's getting worse. Like it's just getting intense. So like I hear like a few of my cousins actually had to retake their like Korean SATs because they were not able to get into like universities that they wanted. So just like I hear like a bunch of people just going through like those kind of like events, and like it's just so stressful. And I don't so I think the kids will be more stressed ever than ever. The most of the people that I know are still living with their parents, and they're like they're working, either working or like in college right now. So I think like the main pattern is like they're still like they're gonna live till marriage and then move out. Yeah. Um, I think they can't afford it, first of all, and they just don't have any like expectations on like getting married soon. And yeah, I've like my cousin, like the oldest cousin, like she's like 27, but like she's like she just has no like she just has no plan to get married or anything. So yeah, that's that. But yeah, and like I honestly have never seen anyone who wanted to like get married in my circle in Korea, but like I have a few in Canada that like kind of wants to get married. So I think there's like less people who wants to get married in Korea than in Canada. Like it's a lot different to compared to like my Korean friends back in Korea. Because I've like from like I guess like their childhood, they've been told that they really need to go to good school, unless you can't really do whatever like what they want. Um, and so oh, like they probably face a lot of failures because like if they did not get good marks in like middle school or high school, they probably face a lot of like um challenges, because they actually rank out their like marks by ranks. Like they like I don't know if you know that, but like yeah, they share everything. Like you know, the first person who got the most like mark, they actually like people know. So it's like everything's so competitive, and like I feel like people just face failure from like when they're young. So they just try to like they don't really have like the same mindset as like I am, I think. It's like you just admit that you're like a failure and you just do whatever that you can. For me, I personally think that like from like I guess like from the education system in Canada and everything, I feel like they just like always told me that I can do whatever I want. Basically, it's just like you just try your best and like you can like achieve what you want. So I feel like I grew up with that mindset, and I think I believe that too. It's like whatever, if I try my best and like if I have the resources that I have, like I think I can like achieve what I want in future.